Yeah.
Actually, you get it. That is your software.
What's the website?
Another one of these folks who say.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the regular scheduled meeting, City Board of Commissioners, December 8, 2020. We'll begin with a pledge led by the reward, followed with publication by Commissioner Truman.
To the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic which it stands, one nation, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Most gracious Heavenly Father, we're here today to ask for your blessings and guidance in the performance of our duties as elected officials. We pray for strength, love, knowledge, and understanding. Help us to recognize the solid requirements that are presented. Make our solutions fair and just for the best interests of everyone. Help us to overcome our shortcomings and keep us united as a team to work to the betterment of the city and its people. We pray in your name. Amen.
Thank you. We have the agenda as presented. We have a motion to approve the agenda. Mr. Ward with a motion, Mr. Tinsley with a second. All in favor, signal by raising your hand. 6-0. Moving into presentations and delegations, we recognize Elsie Bernard, Water Meter Division, as the November 2020 Strongest Link Award recipient. Meter Division Manager David Dennison and Watershed Management Director Dr. Grant Keller will address.
We had a little detour this evening. Elise Bernard went to the doctor today and she had a high fever and she's been quarantined for 5 days. So we're doing this in her absence. But the good thing is that Elise has been nominated more than once over the last year. We had a supervisor that had cancer and she stepped in for his position for the better part of 6 months and took on that role, didn't gripe, didn't do anything but do a good job. She is a pretty good leader. She's shown potential to work for the city for a long period of time in a supervisory role as she begins to mature in what she does. If you're not familiar, she's our lead on our leak detection, and she understands the process. She's learned all the computer software. She's learned how to deal with a product that we call Utilis, which helps us locate leaks through satellite imagery. Very sharp young lady to be an English major. I don't know why she's in the water business, but on her behalf, I want to say thanks to everybody that voted for her and made her the Employee of the Month, and I'll make sure she's recognized sometime in the future. But she's a very good and smart young lady, and appreciate her working for the city of Griffin.
Thank you. Moving to recognize the graduates of the 16th Annual Citizens Government Academy and our Citizen Engagement Specialist. Brian Miller will address, and I understand that as you come up, Brian, that Truman has failed to pass the class again. So we're going to recycle him, I think, maybe one more year and see how he does. Brian, thank you for what you do on this program. And it's
I've been here 6 years, and I think Truman's taken the class each one of those years, and he's never passed it. How he's a commissioner, I don't know. As you all know, we have completed our 16th year of Citizens Government Academy, which gives It's a great program which gives citizens the opportunity to learn everything there is about the city directly from director. It's a 10-week program, and it's commitment. Having done it for 5 years, it's definitely a commitment, not only for the directors to stay after work, but all the people involved in putting it together, but especially on behalf of the citizens who take the class. They have to give up 10 weeks of their lives to come and learn more and more about what it is that we do. This year was a little bit different because instead of opening it up to the public due to COVID restrictions, this group of individuals was selected by you all, and I definitely wanted to commend you for selecting such a great group. They all were very attentive, asked a ton of questions, and in the process, we were able to learn a lot from them. And it is my hope that they were able to learn a lot from us. So thankful for them for taking this opportunity, and I want to take this time to recognize them publicly. It's the first time we've done it in actually a commission meeting, so it's a little bit different for us, but definitely wanted to recognize them nonetheless. So as I call each one of your names, as you see from the video on the screen, we had some great times. And actually, one of the things, if I may comment on it, that we did this year a little bit different was the police simulations. And given a lot of things that have been going on, I think that was very important to put citizens in real life situations that police may be faced with, and just to see how they would react in some of those situations. So I hope they learned a lot from these things as well. So without further ado, my first person on the list is actually City of Griffin employee, DeMarcus Brownlee. And if you can, DeMarcus, just stand out here in the front. We'll get a picture when everyone's done. Just stand right up here. Summer Clackham. Tara Cotton. Affectionately known as One-Term Tara because all of her suggestions are to raise taxes. Every question we had, her suggestion was to raise taxes. I told her she was One-Term Tara. She'd never get reelected. Kenya Fuller. Bill Moore Jr.
I thought he was the third.
Spencer O'Brien. Kayla, did Kayla make it? Let's see right here.
That's right, we're naming a park after her.
My name is Parker Third. Sharon Royal. Amanda Sprayberry. Reginald Watts. And if you notice from the video, during the police simulations, Reginald shot everybody. I think I got hit once and I was the camera.
No audio on this?
No, we had to mute the audio for technical reasons. Dexter Wimbish. Thank you, sir. And we're missing Kim and Kayla. But we'll get them. You gonna take 4?
Oh, you get a cam.
And we'll get a quick picture. And if any of you have any very short remarks, positive remarks.
I know Mr. Watts wants to say something.
I'm gonna take this.
Yeah, you're good. You're good now. Okay. All right, 1, 2, 3. All right. You want to say anything? Now's the chance.
I'd love to.
Of course you would.
I just want to say thank you to everybody in the city, all the different departments that we toured and had classes at. Everybody was extremely gracious and very entertaining and educational. And I got to say, Brian does one heck of a job wrangling us all, because it kind of was, I think at times like wrangling cats, but it was a great experience. I really enjoyed it. And just thank you to, I see a lot of the faces here tonight that taught some of the classes, and we really appreciate it. I think everybody got a lot out of it, and it was a great experience. Really enjoyed it. Thank you.
Okay,
I told you, Mr. Watts never focused on the channel.
Of course, the reverend would have.
First, I just want to say thank you to Mayor Holberg for inviting me. I really appreciate it. I encourage all citizens to do this. We learned so much. Thank Mr. McCord, all the commissioner, Ms. Cynthia, everybody, Cora. Thank you all. And I just want to encourage all the citizens to do this. So thank you, guys.
Anybody else? Last call?
Yes, I think.
Okay, go right ahead.
Yeah, thank you, everyone. And it was an eye-opening experience. It was a lot of fun. And I suggest anyone take it as well. Thank you.
It's nice to make some friends too.
I met some amazing people and learned a lot about the city of Griffin, its government, and how it operates. I learned that there's a lot I didn't know, and there's still a lot more that I need to know. So I'll continue studying local government, and you'll probably see me at these meetings some more.
Thank you.
Thank you all for taking time out to spend with us. So definitely spread the word, and we look forward to when things are back to normal, having a bigger class. But what you guys lacked in size, you definitely made up in heart and dedication. So thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, don't think we're gonna forget that you owe us a ride up in the,
Like they got a little red, they got a special color code, like an iris colored code, they go around.
Doug, I'd like to,
Yes, sir. Go ahead, Mr. Spencer.
you guys who just graduated class, we have a lot of board appointments coming up. So if you're interested in serving on board in the city of Griffin, let us know. So, and I think, we're gonna still have police academy in spring. So that's the next thing you guys can do. Police academy is pretty good, and they feed you good too, so. I've been through that like 5 times, and I still can't shoot a pistol, so.
Excellent. Again, thank you, Brian. Thank you all for participating in this wonderful program. And as Mr. Tinley says, we got Police Academy and the Fire Academy coming up this spring. Love to have you with us. Moving into the citizens' comments section of the meeting. Oh, I'm sorry. We've got review financial report for October 2020. Chief Financial Officer Marcus Schwab will address.
Good evening, Mayor and Commissioners. Any questions on any of the reports that you have as of October?
Property tax should be rolling in the next 15 days.
Keep your fingers crossed.
We're a little late this year on that.
Yes, sir.
I think December 30th is the due date, so we should be good to go. Any questions?
Good job, sir.
Thank you, Mark.
Thanks for passing on.
Yeah,
Thanks for all you do.
Moving into citizens' comment, at this time, the mayor opens the floor for comments from the audience. Comments should relate to a specific agenda item not listed on the agenda for a public hearing or to a concern within the jurisdiction of the city. Commission meetings serve the purpose of conducting city business and are not a forum for the unlimited expression of opinion. The mayor reserves the right to limit comments to matters germane to city business and may refer speakers to the city manager or other staff for resolution. With that being said, is there anybody on my left who'd like to come before the board? Anybody on my left? Anybody on my right? All right. Yes, ma'am. You can come forward to the mic if you don't mind. And if you'll please state your name and address for the record.
My name is Summer Clapham. I'm here as somebody's proxy. My boyfriend, my partner, lives in the city of Griffin. but he's immunocompromised and can't come out because of COVID. My address is 1959 Williams Mill Road, Zebulon, Georgia, 30295. I'd like to address the matter that happened at Griffin High School regarding police officer Webb, I believe.
Mhm.
I think that things could have been done differently. There was too much force used. It's important for people the girl student this issue began with refused to show her student ID. And in this day and age, it's very important to know who's in your schools. But it's also important not to use too much force when you don't have to. And I think that it was handled inappropriately. I know that Police Chief Yates is committed to both lawful and social justice, but it is a little ridiculous that an officer had to use force over an argument involving an ID. When she could have just been sent home if she couldn't prove she was a student.
Thank you very much. Is there anybody else in the audience like to come before the board? Okay. Moving in, we have no public hearings tonight. We have the consent agenda, items 4 through 9. We have a motion to take the consent agenda as a whole. Mrs. Murray with the motion on the consent agenda. Do we have a second?
Second.
Then Mr. Tinsley. Ms. Murray, Mr. Tinsley, motion second. All in favor of the consent agenda, please raise your hand. 7-0. Moving into item 10 under the regular agenda, consider the minutes of the Griffin Board of Commissioners 11/24/20 workshop meeting. We have a motion to approve. That Mrs. Murray.
We weren't here.
Yeah.
Although I was on the Zoom.
Okay.
But it's off there.
Mrs. Ward with the motion, with the
Second.
second. Mr. McCord with the second. All in favor, please signal by raising your hand. 5-0-2, is that correct? With Mrs. Flowers and Ms. Murray abstaining. And then on item 11, consider minutes of the 11/24/20 Griffin Board of Commissioners regular meeting. Do we have Ms. Ward with a motion? Do we have a second?
Second.
Mr. Tinsley with a second. All in favor, please signal by raising your hand. Were you at that one? Okay. And again, 6-0-1 with Mrs. Murray abstaining. Item 12, consider renewal of the fiber optic lease education network from American Inc. for the Spalding County School System Network in the amount of $22,053.46 per month from January 1, 2021 to June 30th of 2025.
So
Got a motion from Mr. McCord, second by Mrs. Ward. And a quick question for Gibb, is this price comparable to what they've been paying?
Yes, it's a 15% reduction, but for that reduction, we get a clause in there that gives us money back if they exit the contract early.
Okay,
So a little bit of risk reduction.
What is our backup plan? Do we have one? Should they?
Well, if they exit the contract within the first year, they have to pay 100% of that first year, 50% of the second year, and then 15% of any remaining year. Is that?
Do you plan to expand this program?
Yes, I would like to.
Is that in the works?
It is in the works. I think we're going to discuss it in January. If we can get a plan together by then.
Let's hope so. Thank
Okay.
you.
Thanks.
thank you. Do we have a motion from Mr. McCord, Ms. Ward with a second? All in favor, signal by raising your hand. 7-0. Thank you, Mr. Cotton. Item 13, consider resolution adopting the updated language access plan required by the Georgia Department of Community Affairs in conjunction with the award of 2020 Community Development Block Grant Funds. Do we have a motion to approve? Mrs. Ward with a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Mr. Tinsley with a second. Any questions? All in favor, please signal by raising your hand. 7-0 on item 13. Item 14, consider a resolution approving a water sales agreement between the City of Griffin and the Spalding County Water Sewage Facilities Authority. And this will be for 25 years. Mr. Tinsley with a motion. With a second. Mr. Brock with a second. Mr. Smith, would you like to say a few words?
Yes, sir, I would, not to belabor an 8-year project, but there's a couple of things I wanted to draw to your attention. On page 2 of this contract, in the middle of that page, the Water Authority and the city agreed that the extension of water and sewer along AK Bolton Parkway and the connection of Cabin Creek wastewater treatment plant with the Springs Industries treatment facility is a goal for both entities and is crucial to the economic development in all of Spalding County. The Water Authority has a subcommittee who's been working on the sewer side of this contract, which is actually not part of the contract, but they want us at least to consider they're considering closing the Springs plant, and they want us to consider taking that effluent into Cabin Creek, which is our facility. They are working on a plan to provide the infrastructure so that that effluent comes to Cabin Creek, and they're also working on the some infiltration issues with water going into those sewer lines. So they are spending upwards of about $4 million on this project. What we have talked about is the possibility of accepting that infrastructure and also accepting a certain amount of customers and not charging them a capacity recovery fee for that, because we will actually get the benefit of that infrastructure, which will become our asset. So it's kind of a trade-off. And they meet in the morning, and I think one of the things that they will bring up is, are we amenable to discuss taking over that sewer effluent from that particular area? Now, we will have to have an agreement where that area is clearly defined as to who does not have a capacity recovery fee and who will have one in the future. So those things are still under negotiation, but I did want you to understand that we are in the works of talking about a contract in relation to sewer in addition to this water contract, and they may go hand in hand in the future. But right now, you're only voting on this contract, but you are saying that you do recognize that that is the plan for the future, and it is documented in this contract that you're open to those negotiations.
Thank you, Mr. Smith.
One other thing I
Yes,
wanted
sir.
to bring, one other thing I wanted to bring up before you may have a question. The county manager has also requested the addition of Exhibit C and D. I haven't incorporated Exhibit C and D into your packet because I don't feel like they're necessary. Exhibit C and D is some old documentation from the old contract that outlines some area that has been annexed, and we've assumed the infrastructure in that annexed territory, which is already done. I don't think it's necessary to add that exhibit, but it's not worth arguing over. If they want to, it's not a big deal. The other exhibit is the service map that is outlined in our water management plan. The water management plan is listed and referred to in the contract. So I didn't see a need to add an additional exhibit, and I think their attorney kind of agrees with that, but there again, it's not worth arguing over. So if tomorrow their board wants to add those two exhibits to this contract, I don't really have a problem with that, other than for simplification purposes, I don't think it's necessary, but that's not a deal breaker either. It's not a big deal. So I wanted to bring that to your attention as well. My plan is to, based on how you vote tonight, is to attend that meeting in the morning. And if you approve this contract, then I intend to hand it over to them and say, we've approved it. It's up to you at this point.
Are there any questions of the board?
No.
Mr. Whalen, anything?
No, I agree with Kenny.
Okay, sounds great. We have a motion and a second. All in favor, please signal by raising your hand. 7-0. Congratulations, ladies and gentlemen. Item 15, consider an expenditure of CARES Act funds for a one-time employee hazard pay bonus, a utility assistance grant program for residents and businesses, and commissioner contingency within the federal relief grant fund in the amount of $1,194,207.77. Amend the budget accordingly and authorize the mayor and city manager to execute any necessary documents to effect the grant program. Do we have a motion to approve? Do we have the motion? Ms. Murray with a motion, second by Mr. McCord. Any questions or comments?
Just another
Yes, sir.
thing, Mr. Chairman, of course, we talked about this in our workshop as to the hazard pay bonus and have outlined the eligibility for that. Also, it's very important to note that not only are our employees receiving a bonus for their hazardous conditions they've worked under, but we're also reaching out to the community with a utility assistance grant of $250,000. So we are contracting with the Salvation Army to implement that program. That is the document that Ms. O'Connor has handed to you. And in the motion that you've made, you've authorized the mayor and I to execute the necessary documents to effectuate that program. I would like to point out that we are contracting with the Salvation Army to do that, and that there is a small cost involved in that because it will be a project. They will actually take the applications, interview the applicants, and make sure that they qualify for utility assistance, and also make sure that they're not getting double assistance or assistance from some other grant that would cause them to be ineligible for this. So it will be a good bit of work. So I just wanted, we got that at the last minute, but I did want you to be able to see that and authorize the mayor and I to execute that memorandum of agreement with the Salvation Army. This will also leave us over $300,000 of CARES money in our fund because, as you know, the pandemic continues and by all accounts seems to be getting worse right now, so we will have some money left over. And if all of the $250,000 is not appropriated for utility assistance, of course, we'll keep what's not used, if any. And there's also talk right now about further assistance from the federal government. So after the first of the year, or maybe even before, we'll see how that goes as well.
Thank you, Mr. Smith. Any questions or comments from anybody? We have a motion and a second. All in favor of proceeding, please raise your hand. 7-0. All right, we talked about this morning in regards to the intersection of East Solomon Street, Spalding Street. Dr. Keller, do you have a quick update on any information you've been able to find or discuss?
I made a contact with the ARC. The next time they will call for a TIP amendment. It'll be sometime in the spring. I'll have more information tomorrow on that, but if we're going to apply for the 80-20 match, as this is an additional, we'll have to amend the TIP accordingly. Mr. Walker and I will be in contact now that we have the information this afternoon. We'll touch base with George and Scott and see what their response will be.
Any opinions, Mr. Flower, since this is your background as a commissioner?
Correct. Just the same perspective that I had this morning, but I think as Rodney said, even though it is in my district, it is still a decision by the board in terms of how we proceed. And I don't want to offer an opinion that lends itself to any technical expertise. It's just from a residential perspective of living there. So again, I feel like the personal responsibility of asking a question well after the process has been implemented and is going, and us taking on that additional burden. But I'm trying to weigh that out with also making a decision that is rather permanent and it not being the most ideal situation. So that's just where I am.
Any other opinions, board?
I like the opinion of the roundabout that they suggest a roundabout. I don't know what everybody else.
Makes it a more seamless process.
That's what I think, too.
There's a way to figure out how to adopt some potential changes.
It does, how long is that going to delay the program for
First of all, it's gotta be adopted in the tip. And we don't know whether that's a thumbs up or a thumbs down at this time, because they fund in cycles. They fund in cycles, it can be put off for, I don't know. I just don't have enough information to tell you that right now.
It's not moving real quick right now.
That's
So,
all I was
you know,
about to
this
say,
is
how
a
many years
multi-year.
has it already been, Brent? How many years has it already been?
This is going on year 3. And the design's gonna take another 2 to 2.5. So the only issue that really sitting on the table is actually funding, and we'll see how that goes once we get in there.
It's a multi-year process, so it's not like it's gonna happen real soon. But if we don't make a decision now, while we have these contractors on board, then it will delay it even more. So the decision is timely, but the construction won't necessarily be, 6 months one way or the other on construction is not gonna happen.
And what if they come back and tell us no?
Then we have to drop back and punt.
Or build it as is.
Oh, right, it is, okay, sorry.
Yeah, that's.
I want to ask, but if they say no, then it is what it is. We already have an approved concept and that's how we go.
The consensus is that we ask and proceed with the.
Is there a consensus?
Other options.
I'm good with us looking at other options if that would be more favorable long-term for the community personally.
I'm a yes for asking,
You would?
yes.
Oh, I thought you said I'm a yes for asking.
No.
You said I'm a yes for asking.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm affirmative.
And we talked about the cost being, now that we know about the utilities, and that kind of is a somewhat washes that, or is that the right term? But maybe.
The utility cost savings will be, if we get those savings, it'll be on either model. So I think the new model was, how much?
7.2.
But the difference in the two were 1.5 million. But the savings would come on either one of them based on whether we divert from the utility.
So if we explore this option and the payment, or what Dr. Keller is telling us, if all else fails, we go back and build
But the first one.
what is currently approved.
You good? Everybody else good? Okay. Thank you.
Thank you guys for supporting that.
That's right.
Moving into city manager's report. Mr. Smith?
Yes, sir. Ms. O'Connor has one quick item to bring up to give you a heads up on before I give you my report.
Actually, two, sorry.
Sorry.
Commissioner McCord asked me about a complaint he received from a constituent in regards to some construction done on Pamela Drive, Ann Street, George Circle, that area. And Dr. Keller was kind enough to pull some numbers for me. In the last 3 years, we have spent over $2.5 million in that area and have replaced over 8.6 miles of different kinds of lines. So this is not road construction, this is CDBG money. So this is water and sewer infrastructure updates. And so I just wanted to make sure you got that information ready to the minutes. So we know exactly what we're doing over there. They hope to have it done by January, at the latest February, because they did add 2 weeks of work on George Circle that they had not previously thought they would be able to do, but are able to do that. Secondly, we are very, very close to finalizing a decision on our compactor at the landfill. If you'll remember a few weeks ago, maybe a month ago, I talked with you about having to do something with that piece of equipment because when we received our remaining capacity report from the landfill, we did notice that we have lost more capacity than we should have within the year. And so it has become pretty much an emergency. Because we do not have another meeting for a month, we are going to go ahead and ask Mayor Holberg and Mr. Smith and Mr. Whalen to sign those documents. We're trying to decide whether we will do that through CAT financing or through an internal model that Mr. Schwab has sort of worked out with possibly MEI, Municipal Competitive Trust money. So we'll finalize that tomorrow and ask for that to be signed because we are renting one now and we want to make sure we can get this rebuilt because it will take 12 weeks to rebuild our machine at a cost of $603,000, but that does include some PMs and some extended warranties that we feel are necessary for that kind of equipment at the landfill. So you will see that in January with an emergency resolution, but we'll go ahead and ask for signatures on that as soon as we can.
Thank you.
Okay, I just want to thank and congratulate the Citizens Government Academy students. Some of them are still here. That was a great group this year. I was with them almost every week, and even though, as Brian said, they were a small group, they were a very energetic group, and I just appreciate their commitment to the city. And I think Commissioner Tinsley reminded us board appointments are coming up. That will be in the newspaper on Friday. And also the following Friday, it'll be on our website, it'll go out on social media. So you should be getting contacts from your constituents about board appointments. And as we do every year, we'll log those as they come in, have them for your review so that we're all prepared for that first meeting in January. Our goals workshop is tentatively scheduled for January 26th and 27th back at the Calvin Center. Again, that was a good location for us last year.
What are those dates again?
The 26th and half a day on the 27th.
Oh, okay. A day and a half.
Cities United Summit, I think, is that Monday, the 25th. That Tuesday, which is our regular workshop day. Fourth Tuesday will be in the goal session, and then it could possibly and will probably roll over into Wednesday morning, the 27th. Because we had to cancel Monday's joint meeting with the county and land bank and the school board, we didn't get a chance also to meet our new Archway professional, but she is at work. And Brittany Bullock is our new Archway professional, and she is now on staff. And as soon as we can get everybody together, I want to introduce you to Brittany, and she will really be an asset as we go forward with our Archway commitment. And that's all my comments tonight.
Mr. Whalen?
I don't have any comments. I want to wish y'all a very Merry Christmas. Have a safe holiday and stay healthy.
Thank you, Mr. Whalen. Mr. McCourt?
I want to co-sign what Mr. Whalen said. Wish everyone a Merry Christmas, have a safe holiday, and wear your mask.
Over your nose.
Oh, you talking about this record?
That's all I have. Thank you.
Whoa, the record.
Yes.
Mr. Bird?
Congratulations to the Citizens Government Academy. I see a lot of happy, smiling faces out there. I hope to see you very engaged and come to these commission meetings because there's plenty of room and it's difficult for us to not have anyone to talk to and look at. It makes it more meaningful for me, and I really am very proud of you. Please keep engaged and hopefully maybe some board positions or more future government work for you all. Staff, thank you very much. It's downtown is beautiful. I get citizens every day to tell me just how beautiful it is, the lights, decorations, and through all, it's finally, the light is coming out at the end of the tunnel. So Dr. Keller and Chris, and everyone involved in that process, thank you very much. But Merry Christmas to you all and stay safe. I want to see you back here first of the year, everyone, board. Merry Christmas to you all too. Thanks.
Thank you, Ms. Bird.
Just want to say hats off to all of the staff, literally from top to bottom, part-time, full-time, everybody who contributed this year to get us through what is surely one of the most historic years in government and in just private and public life. So we won't be here to have an end of the year celebration, but definitely hats off to everyone who helped us keep going.
Thank you, Ms. Flowers. Mr. Brock?
Thanks for everybody that's here tonight. Sometimes it's pretty lonesome just sitting up here talking to each other. And it's good to see both the audience here tonight. Congratulations to the Citizens Academy. They do a good job. And it's real worthwhile for us and for the city of Griffin, for more people to understand what goes on in the city business town. I want to say Merry Christmas to everyone. 2020 is a doozy. We'll go very shortly. Looking forward to 2021 and a great year. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Brock. Mr. Tinsley?
You guys are graduating Citizens Government Academy. You guys enjoy that? Good. Police Academy will be starting sometime in spring. And make sure you go to that. It's a lot of fun. You find out a lot of things about police work that you didn't know before. And they take you to the firing range. If you want to fire their weapons, you can fire all of those. So it's a lot of fun. It's very informative. And then after that, they'll start Citizens Fire Academy at the new fire station up there across from University of Georgia. So anyhow, if you have any board appointments, you're interested in that, that'll be out on the website coming up. So put your name in the hat. I'd like to have you guys serve on some boards here in the city, make our city even better than it is. And Merry Christmas to everybody. Hopefully Santa Claus will show up with a mask. Not sitting over at my house.
Thank you, Mr. Tinsley. Ms. Ward.
I kind of echo what everybody else has already said about staff and everything else, but Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. Everybody stay safe.
Thank you. Well, congratulations to me. I didn't get impeached by y'all this year, so we made it for the full year. Oh, Lord, it's close. But I want to express my sincere appreciation to staff this year. Brian, great job with Citizens Government Academy. You enjoyed the pictures and the videos and the feedback. The Equity Inclusive Commission, I continue to talk to members of that board, and they are very pleased in the direction of that. So look forward to future reports from that group of workers. Staff, you keep doing a great job. Want to give Dr. Keller and Mr. Smith that attaboy. This water contract, hopefully tomorrow it'll be finalized, is a big, big deal for this community. It is a long-term project that we've been working on for, I think Mr. Smith said 7 years. It was one of my goals when I was chairman in 15 and 18 to get it done, and we're finally getting it done. So it's a memorable, extraordinary, and people will be looking back on this and saying, thank goodness we got it worked out. Chris, the downtown tree lighting went perfect when it hit the light. Your team and the electric department all had it going good. We had over 200 people show up in the rain Friday night for the downtown tree lighting, so another great event. And this weekend, we've got second Saturday, sip and shop is the theme. So anybody likes to sip and if they like to shop, come on out to downtown Griffin this week for the different activities, and remember to shop local. Merry Christmas to all, and again, thank you all for your support. Yeah, a motion, Mr. McCord, to adjourn.
Second.
Second by Mrs. Murray. All in favor, say bye.
Bye-bye.
Bringing me dinner? You bring me dinner? I was gonna rip it to you.